Hi, what's up, everyone? I'm Peter Kim.
And I'm Unji Kim.
And welcome back to Two Kims, One Pod.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back. Today is my birthday.
Today is Peter's birthday.
And we are recording.
Recording.
It feels good to be working all day. I've
really?
just been working all day. Yeah,
You're
I had
like
a gig
also
this
like
morning.
let me just say something. Like the image on your computer, you look very like crisp. Do you have something new happening with your camera?
No. You mean on my Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the lights are on better. It's dark now, so like I have all the lights on.
I see. Okay. You look crisp.
Thank you. So do you.
Do I? I feel like I look fuzzy, which is like why I look the best.
No, you look great.
It feels good to work all day. Okay.
On my birthday, yeah. People were like, "What are you gonna do for your birthday?" I was like, "I'm just gonna like work. I'm gonna do this podcast, and I had a gig this morning, not morning, but afternoon, and let's get into it."
Yeah, let's get into it.
As a comic, we all know how bad and cursed the hosting of award shows are.
For sure. Yeah, of course.
I was tasked to do one.
I mean, I don't know personally. I've just emceed events, but yes.
Yeah. It's very, then it's basically like hosting anything, but a million times worse because people are very self-serious. It's like imagine a corporate event times 1,000 because everyone's dressed up and hair and makeup and gowns.
Yeah.
So, I went up and did my thing, which was, acerbic, roasty, being a 개구쟁이.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, that's the brand.
And that's also why, who's going to the Peter Kim store and not expecting that to be on the shelf?
That's all there is. We
That's
have
all
one product.
it's like an everything but bundt cake store.
Yeah.
What's it called? You know what I mean? Those stores where they only sell bundt cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
bundt cake stores.
Yeah, you're. I forgot what the name of the store is, but like I think it's called.
I'm selling bunt.
You're selling bunt.
That's all I got.
So you're being acerbic, roasty, okay, and
they're just not loving it. First of all, let me just say thank you to the Astros. What a wonderful, it's wonderful to always be asked.
What do you mean they weren't liking it? Like, were you very far? Like, tell me about like the sort of the stage.
Classic ballroom situation,
okay.
Like in a hotel type of situation. It wasn't at a hotel. It was like a event space where they hold these types of things.
Mm-hmm.
And, round tables all around. But I hosted the afternoon creative arts version.
Okay.
Which is, mostly just technical awards. And, there weren't that many tables. So it was an afternoon show, pretty sparse, in a large room. And it just felt very like one of those like, yeah, this is work. This is not for fun. This is for a check.
That's right. Yeah. No, so were the round tables, were the round tables also, were they like spread out? Like, were they like close together? Like, were they at least next to each other? Like,
no, it was cavernous. There weren't many tables, so it felt like a large room for a very small amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there were like RuPaul's Drag Race girls there. So like drag queens were dressed up. So like it was odd. There was like publicists, writers. Dune won a couple of things. They sent their like sound people and whatever else. I forgot what one, but Dune won like 2-3 awards. People like, Unji, this is, okay, so like, again, thank you to the Astros, thank you to HCA. This is more for like a comment on the industry at large.
Okay. Oh, we're going there. Okay, cool.
I
Should we
felt
say
like
this for
I
the
was
Patreon?
No. I gotta say this for the fans. it really felt like the business of show business, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like award season style stuff. And, you know, there are people going up there with prepared speeches, giving like speeches about like, we tell the stories that we can't not tell. And we do it with the people that we can't not work with. And maybe if you just leap, you'll find something at the other end. You know, something like that. Like
you find
they're
you,
just
you
like
find creatives that will catch you. You find others
yes,
that will
a
catch
family,
you. A family,
a community.
And yet we find wings in our stories that we tell each other, and we fly.
Yeah, on the wings of love. Like it was so corntastic.
I love it. Yeah.
But like I could understand if you're doing it. And okay, let me just backtrack. My can I just give you my out joke? My last joke for my monologue before we get the show started.
Okay, please.
So the way it worked was I did like a 5-minute monologue, classic Joe Coy style.
Okay.
Bombing and blaming other people. And
we're the writers. It's not me. You were the writer.
Yeah. You wrote this. So I actually did a Joe Coy bit in my bit. I said, I can't believe an Asian man is hosting an award ceremony after what Joe Coy did. By the way, did anyone take the bus here? I'm trying to see if his riders are still underneath. I said, to be fair, if I was bombing, I would blame my writers too. But the Astras said they couldn't afford giving me writers, so all of this will be entirely my fault. And then I went into my bits.
Okay.
And then the final joke was, so sit back, relax, and let's enjoy an afternoon of glamour, laughs, and unabashed self-congratulations. And remember, we're streaming live on KNEKT television. So make sure to keep your speeches short and sweet because remember, no one's watching. You guys ready to get this started? Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are people up there giving like Oscar-winning speeches.
Wait.
Like a an empty room. To KNEKT. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what makes me like Chingoroa. And I'm like the acerbic comic that's like sitting on the side being like, this is stupid, right? You know, and everyone's like, no, it's not. Nah. I dressed up for this. And it was just such a like, it was such an OMG moment where I was like, oh, right. I'm not like the rest of these people. You and I are not Hollywood.
Yeah, we're not mixing audio. We don't. I don't have any of those skills. Like
we're not affecting visuals.
We're not. Yeah. I have no skills. I'm not trained, like professional. You know, this is just.
And everyone who went up was like, "Thank you to Scott and the Hollywood Creative Alliance. Thank you to the Astras. Without platforms like these, stories can't be told." You know what I mean? It's just like...
Because they can't hear them because no one is mixing the story. Yeah. Thank you.
It's just so much... just fucking Ouroboros eating your own ass.
Right. Yes.
But the food was incredible. I gotta say the food was so good.
And I would like to thank the caterers.
First and foremost, the caterers, the people behind the scenes in the kitchen.
Peppering, salting.
Yes, salting.
Making sure these ceviches are safe to eat. Making sure the shrimps are shrimping, right?
Deveined.
The points are toasted.
Yes.
The
canapes are canapes. Yeah, it was it was for luncheon. It was very, very delicious. Everything was seasoned correctly. Good food. Good, like even for like ballroom food. Like I was like, this is fucking inspired to make like en masse this much food. Although it wasn't that many people. It was like 6 tables.
So it was like a small wedding.
The tiniest wedding you will ever see.
I mean, I love that. What an intimate affair. Like,
it was very intimate. The room was so big. The room like held 50 tables.
Okay, so it's this is like it's like a 12-year-old wearing their parents' suit. Like it's
yeah. It's me in my mom's heels. Like, what am I doing? Where are we going? We're gonna fall down and break our teeth.
I love. Okay, so
it was very much like the highlight of my comedic career, like Hollywood career, to host an award ceremony.
For sure.
Albeit the creative arts. And also at the same time be completely just unappreciated.
Wait, when you say it was a bomb,
some people came up to me. It was like, that was so funny. Like people who are like smart or like who have a sense of humor, like
sure.
really liked it. There was one guy dying in the audience, but one guy. But a lot of people were like, even my first joke. Okay, this is how the litmus test. I'll tell you, right? This is how you know what the audience is. Okay, people are dressed up. Remember,
yes,
like red carpet ready. I go up there. I go, hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the 2024 Astras. I'm your host, Peter Kim. I am a writer. I'm a comedian. I'm an actor. I'm a performer. I am an exhausted gay. And most importantly, I am half the price of Ronnie Chan. And the people in the audience were like, oh. And I was like, well, it's going to be uphill battle from here. It was crazy.
Oh my God. I mean, also, can I just say what a gift this is on your birthday.
To be humbled.
To be humbled.
To be humbled.
To be humbled. Like this
by the Hollywood Creative Alliance.
Thank you. You know, like just like it is it's like moments like this where you have to believe in a higher power.
Yes.
You do. You really have to believe in
do.
Yeah.
I really do.
You have to, because, you know, it this kind of humility that is like when you're bludgeoned with it in this way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. On the top of the head.
On the top of the head. You know, especially when you're trying to like move up, right? And there's like this like idea that, you know, as you're progressing in your career, you are hosting, right? You've been asked. You're a name.
Mm-hmm. I'm in the trades.
You're in the trades.
No. It was very much like Baby's first award show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the evening awards were a lot more filled out. And Lonnie Love is the host for that one. So, you know, like a real comic. And she's been around. And, you know, I'm a real comic. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm as real as it gets.
But it's serious. Terminal.
Yeah. I don't fake no funks.
No.
But Lonnie Love's like been around the block, and she's a known entity. So I'm hoping it went well for her. I'm sure it did. But you want some tea?
Yes.
I'll give you the tea. This is actually what I would say for the Patreon. So for those folks, if you're feeling generous during the holiday seasons and you want to throw us a couple of shekels, we do have a Patreon, guys. And there's a lot of like fucked up stuff on there. And fucked up, I mean like things that could get us in trouble.
I mean,
and
like
by us, I mean me.
Peter. Like I mean, like Peter's obsessed with jeopardizing his show, but jeopardizing, ruining his Hollywood career. He's obsessed with it. Every time he starts every time he starts a story, and if I know the beginning of it, I'm like, oh no, this is the story you're going to tell. This is what you
can't tell this one.
You can't tell this one. And he's like, no, I don't care. Like,
well, it's because we don't have that many Patreons, and I want you guys to feel like special. You know, like.
And if it gets out
I
there,
hate those Patreons that they're like, 15 minutes more content, and it's just them farting around. Like, no, I want to give you like the tea to the tea.
And also, our Patreon base is small enough that if it gets out there, we do know which one of you told.
Yeah, and where you live, because we send you the merch. So.
Okay. So
Anyway, that's how
tell us-
small the Patreon is, all right? We know all of you by first and last name and zip +4, bitch.
We know your apartment number.
Yes. And if you use the back door or not. What's it called?
What's the T? What's the T?
Oh, so they contracted me to write the show, the evening show, and my show, afternoon show.
Okay.
As in, like, the copy that the presenters read when they present the awards.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, great. And they were like, can you also host the lunch portion? And I was like, I'll do it for this flat fee.
Yeah.
And they said, great. 3 days ago, I get a text saying, hey, can you write Lonnie Love's monologue too? And it should be about 5-7 minutes. And I was like, no. Why would I do that? And they were like, oh, I don't know. There was some like miscommunication, blah, blah. And I was like, if Lonnie wants to pay me
Sure.
to write her monologue for her, then tell her to call me or whatever. But this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And to write another monologue of the same show, you know what I mean? Like, that's like way more work, because I have to like go like do more jokes about this same topic that I just wrote an entire monologue about.
It's double plus the work.
Yeah, it's not just twice the work. It's like more than
Yeah.
that, because you have to like avoid all the stuff you already did and like threw out, and you know what I mean? You have to mine more. And Lonnie Love is, I'm sure, getting paid to host. Shouldn't she be, if you're paying me to host and write my own monologue, isn't that the same thing you're doing for her? What's the deal? And I like did a really hard stance no, and he was like, okay, let me check with them. I was like, I'm not budging on this.
No.
Like, that's a completely different ask. That's different than when they came back a couple times and said like, oh, this actor doesn't want to say this joke, or this, can you revise, or can you give us an alt, or blah, blah. That's fine.
Yes.
But to write another comedian's entire monologue for the same award show that you're doing the lunch version of, like, absolutely not.
That wasn't the agreed upon parameters.
That's not the scope of work.
No.
The SOW,
No.
honey. So, yeah, she's been corporate.
SOW and SOT. Okay, we know about all the analyses.
Yes.
Okay.
So
we want the SOT.
I was just,
yeah.
I was just a little like offended, honestly. Like, was that coming from her, or was that like them? Why would they ask me to do that?
Sure. I mean, that does sound like either they're trying to push, right? Or there was genuinely a miscommunication where this was supposed to be included in the original parameters of work.
And somewhere something got fucked up.
Right.
And
it's either or. But this is not.
Let me tell you, if they told me that in the beginning that I had to also write a second full-ass monologue, host monologue for
price
another
would be
comedian,
different. Price would be different.
Price would be way different, my friend. Because that's the work. Like, writing the presenter copy is not work. That's like stupid, like,
That's
time.
copy. That's copy.
That's copy.
Yeah.
I'm writing stand-up. Like, that's a lot of work.
I mean, and to do it in your, like, in a silo without, like, other people that you're, like, bouncing stuff off of.
Oh, I bounce it off of all my friends.
No, that's...
I read through. I was like, can I try this? And they were like, again? You mean, like, not in a, like, in a live environment?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Not that it would have helped. This audience wouldn't have liked any of it.
For sure. But I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, having another, like, a group of writers that you're, like, bouncing this off of. Like, because that are all
like
pitching.
a room.
Yes. Like, pitching things together.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah.
That would have been incredible.
I mean, that's different than just, like, writing in a silo, just things off. Like, that's just a different ball game. Okay. So then what happened?
I said no, and I held strong, and I told the other producers that I'm not doing it, and they said okay, fine. So I guess they figured it out, or they negotiated with her, or maybe told her she doesn't have to do a monologue, or I don't know.
Okay.
I would think as a comedian, if you are hosting an award ceremony, you're going up there and doing jokes.
I'm sure she
what
must.
else would you be doing?
I mean, I don't know. I like. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I don't know what it's like
Crowd
to
work, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I truly don't know what it's like to be, like a known quantity like that, and have like a specific voice that you need to write towards, and
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, if
How much would you charge?
for what?
Like, not you. I mean, that's a bad question because you would do it for nothing. But
Yeah.
you're how much do you think the fee ought to be for someone like Lonnie with her creds and her standing in the industry
Sure.
for a 5 to 7 minute monologue hosting duty for a kind of unknown-y type of award show? This isn't the Emmys.
Right. What do you think her rate is?
No, ought to be.
Ought to be for like, and writing her own material, because she's not writing the copy or anything, but she's writing
I wrote the copy. Just her monologue and a hosting fee.
hosting fee.
Like bringing up people and like fucking checking with the crowd and saying goodbye at the end, shit like that.
15? 20?
I think so. I think 15 at the least.
Right? Like, I mean, I'm just thinking about like
To write custom jokes for your event.
Yeah, 15, 20. But like, honestly, there's also the reality, which is 15, 20 is also what people get for an appearance fee. So this to show up and host, that's not including the writing of it.
The writing is the hard part.
So I'm saying
That's probably why Lonnie's. This is what I'm thinking happened. Is they were negotiating with her and they lowballed her, and she was like, "That's enough for me to show up and like introduce people. I'm not writing a whole thing." And they're like, "Okay, that's fine." And then they probably came to me and tried to push me and be like, "Can you write Lonnie's thing too?"
Yeah.
And I said no. And then they were just like stuck with whatever they were doing with her.
Well, I'm just gonna let you know I would have done it for free.
Yep. She's here to undercut us all. Should we talk a little bit about this Korea situation?
Yes. I mean,
it is
really nuts.
so funny. It is what's happening?
Okay, so do you want, like, let's just do let's start the story from the beginning. If you are unfamiliar,
Summarize it for us because I'm a little confused as well.
So if you're unfamiliar with what is happening, if you haven't been on the front, if you're not refreshing New York Times app for some reason, and you're only staying at the top and never scrolling down to international, like, this is sort of a recap for you. But also, to be fair, this has been at the top. It was not just at the bottom. This, for a while, it was at the top of the Times app. So in South Korea currently, there is an incredibly unpopular president, and he has been facing some virulent opposition from the opposition party, and they've been doing so and impeding any sort of progress, impeding any sort of legislation he's been trying to get through. He has also, they've also like been putting out a lot of propaganda and a lot of information, not necessarily misinformation, but anti his party agenda into the news. And in order to quell any opposition, and I don't mean just in terms of media, but inside of the actual legislature, he declared martial law. And it was a move in response to some very, very testy events leading up to that moment. they've been going back and forth. He declared martial law, and citing that the opposition party was engaging in democratic, like anti-state behavior, declared martial law, and in doing so, when the army started to push into the actual parliament, this is some of the really crazy footage, right? That people are seeing. The parliamentarians, all of whom have been trained in the Korean army, like it is like a base thing that almost every single Korean man is like at least like a black belt. You know, they've spent several years in the army, and also you know, trained in like how to use a gun in combat. So and they are fighting against these military people trying to come in, and they are able to hold a vote saying that this action is unconstitutional, and they're able to hold that in spite of the military trying to get in. And
unanimous vote.
Unanimous, right? This is, by the way, it would be the same equivalent to America right now, both Dems and Republicans agreeing to this. Sort of
would not happen.
So it's a unanimous vote. After which, I think it was the next day, the president says, "LOL, JK, so sorry." JK.
I'm canceling this speech. And everybody laughed and was like, "You're a fucking puss, you spineless control." Like, he's basically wanted to wrestle control because he realized he had nothing left. And you know, the protests right now are like about him resigning. The Korean public wants him to resign. He will not.
No.
He did apologize. He said sorry for enacting martial law.
LOL,
That
JK,
is
also
the dumbest.
sorry.
Yeah, also sorry. Like, he is so stupid. Like, he's so unliked, and he could not be more unliked. This is like Nixon times 1,000.
Yes.
Like, it is so bad. And the streets of Korea are filled with people having concerts right now. It's like a weird parallel to in Georgia. They are like shooting Capitol buildings with fireworks.
Yeah.
And it's a little darker, that situation. But similarly in that, like, people are in the streets right now. Syria's just fallen literally within hours ago.
Yeah, Assad just fled to Russia,
who is giving him clemency.
Yeah.
And, of course. And it seems like, from what I'm gathering from TikTok news, is that Iranian-Russian support of the Assad regime had pulled back enough where Assad had no favor in his country and outside of his country. So he eventually had to leave.
For sure. Yeah.
And it seems like that's something like a precursor to what might happen to Trump. I really do feel that happening, because Trump's like cockiness right now comes from his backing by Russia. And if Russia pulls their backing on him, it might, and he doesn't deliver, like, and things will get bad with this tariff stuff. I think we're going to see riots like this inside our country.
I mean,
protests.
We'll see. I mean, I will say, at least with regard to, like, outside of speculation, very specifically to what is happening inside of Korea. Let me just say this as like sort of some background, okay? One, Korea is arguably the last successful democracy that American imperialism was able to implement abroad, right? It's the last one. It didn't occur in Vietnam. It didn't occur in Afghanistan. It hasn't occurred in any other international incursion or as a part of like American foreign policy. Has just never occurred. It's the only one that has been successful. To wit, every single Korean president since then has either gone to jail or committed suicide,
killed themselves
because they were going to go to jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Every single one.
Every single one. This is the most successful democracy. Now, what is so interesting is that people do not have this view of Korea, but given our like sort of international reputation, and then especially because there are so many Korean Americans in America, the thing that I have to ask, like, why this is, like, why Americans think this of Korea, I just don't know. I'm so baffled by it because I'm like, why do you think there are so many of us here? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is martial law has the reason why it's such a trigger point is because how often and how draconian other martial law, like people that have implemented martial law, has been. Like, it is not a once in a lifetime occurrence. Like, this has happened other times with very, very corrupt regimes. Now, one of whom very recently, his daughter, like the most famous president who declared martial law, his daughter, like as a progressive who like disavowed her relationship to her father, ran and then went to jail because she let like this Rasputin like character,
this witch,
I mean, like, this is real life, people. Like, this is not this is a modern democracy, and it is. But
it's also a tiny country.
It's a tiny country. Yes,
you're able to really mobilize fast.
And this
America
is what I mean.
Is not. It's different.
And also, to be fair, this is the reason why I think it is able to recover in every single new sort of election cycle, is because Koreans are also incredibly educated. It is a very literate society. And when we talk about demo and like all these like like people mobilizing, demonstrations and protesting is a very inherent and integral part of being a citizen. Like, it is seen as a responsibility. Like, when you are and you see injustice, like, it is not a thing to go out and protest. It's just a part of what your responsibility as a citizen. It is one of the things as a democracy that makes it successful is this sort of Confucian idea of one of many, right? And that you're responsible, and your responsibility is one of like demonstrating and go out there and show and display your disapproval. That, I think, is sort of where, in terms of at least like American democracy, there's this big difference, is that Koreans are a very educated, literate, and mobilized culture and society.
Well, it's also a country that has very short establishment. It's been since 1950. Yeah. America's been around for a lot longer. So I think people have forgotten what citizenship means.
Right.
And that brings me to my last point before we wrap it up, is Trump's out here saying that he's going to cancel birthright citizenship via executive order, which that's not how that works. It's in the Constitution. But, he's going around like stoking all these fears and, doing what he usually does, and like doing like whatever his like, speaking of Rasputin, Stephen Miller is like fucking Nosferatu whispering in the back of his ears.
I mean, it's crazy that evil people look evil.
Evil.
It's really crazy.
It's It's almost like the universe wants us to like have a red flag on their face.
It's truly. It's like
their face is the red flag.
It is like when like it's like, is central casting in hell? Like, what is happening?
Like, look at Nick Fuentes' face.
Like, how?
What?
Like, who is the casting director? Doing an incredible job.
Incredible. Like, is it PR casting? You guys do.
You are showing up.
Yes.
You're doing the work. I mean, like, perfect casting. Like, there is no disputing. Like, you see this person come onto your screen and you're like immediately like, oh yes, evil, bad.
Evil.
I know exactly how I'm supposed to feel. They're saying all the things I expect them to say. Like, it's
Because I don't think you could hide evil. You know, there's this thing that's going around Mar-a-Lago face. Have you seen this?
yes.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Mar-a-Lago face is this like plastic surgery face that all these Republicans and conservatives have now because I guess they're going to the same Florida doctor or whatever. But they do. It all looks very like fish, like sunken eyes. Like it looks crazy.
It looks crazy.
It looks like Nip Tuck when Nip Tuck was out. You know what I mean? In the early aughts. Like
Absolutely, yeah.
It looks bad. And like no one's going to the New York guy who all the celebrities are
The
going
Lohan went to. It's like literally they're going.
Christina Aguilera.
They're really not. They're going.
Demi Moore. Like they have different doctors even.
What's even wild?
It's sick.
And the thing is, like, and you know, the people that are doing Republicans, like, they didn't do good in plastic surgery school. Like, they didn't go.
Clearly, they were not the A students.
They went to med school in the Bahamas. So, you know, they went. You know, like
it was an island degree.
I mean, I always ask my doctor friends about this. They're always like, they always scoff at the idea of like, because they're like, it's not like they don't teach you the same kind of medicine because they go to, you
Do
know.
they?
And I'm like, okay, touche. But I'm like, but it is like come on, you know what I mean?
Like it's a little different.
It's
right?
a little different. Like, you know
you're
what I mean?
skipping a couple of things.
It's not. It's like
you're glossing over.
It's like, so the thing is like, so you're telling me that philosophy 101 at ASU is the same as the philosophy 1 at Yale? Is that what you're telling me? Everyone's if that is true,
We're all the same.
We're all the same. If that is true, then everyone go to ASU. Save that money. Don't study for ACT.
Go party.
Go party. Don't do the best cocaine in the world. Go. Why go to Yale at all? You know what I mean? If this is true.
I don't think people want to go to Yale anymore.
I
really don't.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think there's like a backlash against
that lady. Yeah.
Literacy.
I mean, like they are
but
literally they're going
the
there.
The evil face, and the Mar-a-Lago, I believe that trend is happening because people are walking out here looking like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes,
evil is in the face. It's in your skin. The pores don't lie.
Oh.
So now they're going to this doctor to be like, make me less evil. It's almost like the allegory of the evil queen, like who's the fairest of them all. But like she didn't want to be the decrepit like witch, which is her actual essence, you know?
Yes.
And these are these ladies. Your actual essence looks like fucking what's her name? The blonde Nazi gal.
Which one?
the
Ann Coulter?
Name one. Ann Coulter.
Is that the one you're thinking of? No.
Yes.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The OG.
I mean, it's like it's you know,
she's evil looking.
It's hocus pocus. You know, like it's really like, you know, you're trying to extract this type of like youth and vitality from an inanimate object. Like filler is not going to do that. Like the only
filler's probably the worst thing you can do. Like the way John Mulaney looks right now is abysmal.
I don't know if that's filler. Do you really think that's filler?
What is that?
I will tell you offline what I think it is.
Oh.
Yeah. But I don't think that's filler.
Check out the Patreon. Okay. Well, yeah, just filler in general just looks... I think filler's over. Whatever this doctor in New York's doing, that's the thing.
Yes.
Are you the one who told me he pulls it from the back?
No, but that is actually... That is...
A myth?
Yeah. That's not what it is. There is a new thing that it's not pulling from the back. Because there is
they just make like a skin knot in the back of your head. They just like snatch you.
There's a couple of other things, but there is supposed to be one that like very specifically is like supposed to make there's not as many scars. Because usually how you can tell a good facelift is there's no scarring behind. So what they'll do is you'll see usually even with good facelifts, you'll just see like a slight like alteration in the shape of someone's ear. Like there's like an extra wrinkle or there's like whatever. But I guess now there's that, but also what they're doing, why it looks so natural and why it looks so good is that they're not pulling from just one spot. They're making lateral incisions on multiple spots. So it's not just the ear, but it's also up here. And like, so, you know, because like the ear is the ear, right? So that's what's making it the neck and yeah. So that's what snatches that line. But then with the rest of it, why it's like they're doing like a bunch of stuff. They're doing the bleph, this, and the forehead. So it's a combo, and it's all happening, you know. Because if you're just pulling it from the back, what is that gonna?
I thought there was like just a big knot in the back of your head.
There is something called there's a ponytail lift where that's like they're doing that, but they're pulling it just from the eyes. That's not this doctor is doing something.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's not it. Because
he doesn't want to be known, which I think is the coolest part. I have a feeling he's Korean. I don't know why. I'm just like my intuition is telling me.
You know, like it's derm and ER is there's like a couple of specialties in medicine that remain sprinkled with white people. And it is typically surgery, derm, and ER. It's like, that's, you know what I mean? Like you'll just see every single med school graduating thing, and there's like the top, like you'll see in the corner, there's like 4 white faces. Those are the things. Like those are the people that are typically ER, derm, or surgery, because those are all specialties that require a great deal of ego.
Yeah, sure it does.
It you know, and so you'll see that those are the people that still remain. There's like I call my brother-in-law the last white man in medicine, and it's like, you know, there's like this.
He's like internal medicine.
No, he's ER.
Oh, he's ER.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
ER people are crazy.
That's what I mean. It's ego. It's like this adrenaline.
The thrill,
yeah,
it's addict behavior.
So that's white people.
The surgeons are like the narcissists, and you know they have to get they know. You should have. There was this one surgeon I met with who I didn't meet for me, but our friend Jonathan, our late friend Jonathan, and the boner he got talking about the tumor he pulled out of a lady's stomach. Like
you're sick. Y'all are sick.
Like it's like they're like it's like a prize for them, you know.
I mean, so the Republicans don't have access to that type of like. They don't.
And you know what? That makes me feel good because it's so like shallow, but we're cute. We're cute and they are like fugs.
No, but it's because
they're so fug.
But it's also you know that TikTok you went viral for, like these like dog whistle sort of things about like within the conservative movement. I think these like looking that way is like a dog whistle to other conservative people.
Conservatives?
They don't want to
like,
look
I'm
better.
Evil too?
They don't want to look better. They want to look like each other. They want to look like each other.
That's kind of how West Hollywood is.
Yes.
Like everyone in West Hollywood has the same fish mouth face.
It's not, exactly. It's not that they want to look better. They want to look like each other. They're signaling.
Don't you think they look like each other because they're going to the same surgeon?
Yeah,
or they're just getting the same stuff done?
They're getting the same stuff done, but they're telling whoever their injector is, whoever their surgeon is, that
make me look like
them.
Oh, who do you think is like the poster girl?
Within the Mar-a-Lago face?
Melania Trump?
No, I think it's the Guilfoyle.
You're right. She's the Guilfoyle face is bad, girl. But she's like the lead face of conservative America, huh?
I would say that she is that, like, now the prototype, but I think she was imitating, like, Melania-ish. Like, I mean, it's like the same way that how, like, Fox News ladies...
Yes.
Look
like a Megyn Kelly doll.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's like they look like ooh, you know what this is? They look like Mormons. It's that Salt Lake City face.
Yeah. Oh, it's Heather Gay face. Heather Gay does look like a milfoil. Yeah, you're right.
Dude, it is
You're right. Heather Gay. I just realized that that's her face.
Dude, it is all like those, because Salt Lake City, like very specifically, I think in the world has the most plastic surgery in the world.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Yeah. Like people always think that it's like
That's
Korea.
so crazy. And they all just look the same.
Like it's like if you go to Salt Lake City, if you've ever been, I've been there. This is the reason why I know this. Being, and this was, I went there in 2015, right? This is like what, almost a decade ago. I was out there and I could not help but notice every single strip mall had a Medi Spa, Botox, filler, like whatever, right? And I was just like, this is weird. Like, you know, at 2015, it was common, but not like that, right?
It's interesting because that's probably a vice that they could get away with. Because,
Absolutely.
you know, they can't drink coffee
No.
or they can't do drugs or alcohol. You know, they can't have sex sometimes if you're not married. So, like, yeah,
This
that
is the
makes
vice.
sense.
But also,
beauty is the vice.
but it's also virtuous. To be beautiful is virtuous. And
okay,
so
that
to
makes
have a
sense.
beautiful family is virtuous. So when you go to Salt Lake City, this is the other part of it. What I found so odd about the culture there was, one, the prevalence of all these like Medi Spas and plastic surgery. It was like they were as common as like a Jimmy John's in Chicago.
Like a smoke shop. Yeah.
Yes. Like it's like every other strip mall like had one, and it's all suburban, so there's a lot of them, right?
Crazy.
One, and then two, when you go to any sort of public space, there's a lot of beautiful nature in Salt Lake City.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I would love to live in there.
Saturdays and Sundays, dude, we were taking this hike. It was littered with families taking photos. Like when I tell you,
Wow.
it was like it was like a graduation weekend. You know how like except it was every single family. Everyone is dressed up. Everyone looks really nice. Everyone has the plastered
For the gram.
Yes.
For the gram.
And they have professional photos taken a lot. Not like just once a year. They do it a lot. There is a reason why so many mommy bloggers, if you guys don't know, and I'm sure it's like much more common knowledge now because of the trad wife thing, most of the original mommy bloggers on Instagram were Mormons. They didn't necessarily
Show, did you see that show? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
No.
Oh, incredible. Do you know about this show?
No.
Oh my God, Unji. Okay, you're a little late to it, which
Yeah.
is better. It's about a mommy blogging group of Mormon wives. And season 1 starts off with one of them having this. She has like 1 million followers on TikTok. They all do. And they all make money with each other doing like dances with each other.
Sure. Because they're all hot.
They're all hot.
Yeah.
And they all have the same clip-ins.
Yes.
And
They do. And one
the
is
one
allowed to
girl-
be one of them is allowed to be brunette.
brown. Yeah, exactly. The fat one.
Yes.
But like she the one in the chair. No, but she the one girl, the brown hair girl, she's like actually the leader. She was in a scandal because she was in a swinger
Yes!
whatever.
And she got excommunicated. They got divorced.
Excommunicated,
Yes.
yeah. And they got divorced, and the season starts off with her and the mommy bloggers coming back together and being like, can we still be a group? That's how it starts. And it goes to like crazy land. It is...
I gotta watch this because I was obsessed with that scandal. I was obsessed with that scandal.
No, Anjay, you will love this show. You will binge through it in a day because what it actually is watching traumatized, basically like trapped women who don't process that and take it out on each other. It is high quality.
It literally sounds like going to high school in the 90s because we were
100%.
we were all trapped. Right? Like if sometimes when I look back on very specifically if anyone who's listening, I'm sure all of you guys are millennials if you're listening. If you recall the dating show on MTV called Next.
Abusive.
The way that the discussion around women's bodies, around their
Yes.
sexuality, the dismissive nature of everything, and I recalling my own like attitude about it, like, oh yeah, that's a slut. She is like, what a stupid
Of course,
cunt.
he
Like,
said next. Yeah.
like what a stupid foolish cunt. Like, you know, like all of it. Like, yes, and then the way that we inflicted it upon each other, like
Yeah.
we are now as a culture like reconciling the and really coming to terms with the way that we treated specifically Jessica Simpson.
Well, she became a billionaire, so I'm not too sorry. But yeah,
Kate Winslet.
sure.
I mean,
for
like,
being curvy and big. Yeah.
you know, like, I mean, all of it. Like, it's just like so bizarre. And so like having the culture finally be like, you know what? Touche. We were wrong. You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
fair.
Fair.
But it's not, you know, they're not really, there's like no recourse that any of the women that we inflicted this upon have, right? Aside from becoming a billionaire and like really, but then the countless other women that never made it out and didn't become billionaires
Yeah.
and didn't figure out how to sign a brand licensing deal with some Chinese sweatshop, you know, to make these shoes. You know, like, you know, we'd all.
That's Jimmy Choo, CHU.
We weren't all so lucky.
No, it was a bad time. But yeah, that's Mormonism right now. Mormon lady tradwifeism.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people watch in like the 90 Day Fiance way, where you're like, you know. Speaking of which, one thing I'm making that face about is I literally just saw that that lawyer in Texas refiled the Diddy case and named Jay-Z as a alleged
Yes.
rapist of this 13-year-old girl.
Okay. This is
And
crazy.
I saw that, and you know, I've been seeing a lot of TikTok about like this might be coming out. I just want to say I was just gifted this Ivy Park. So I just I just want to say thank you for the gift, and you know, if whatever, I might not be able to wear it soon. So I just want to like acknowledge.
You know what? You could just have like you could add a another at the A at the I at the beginning. You could just have it like be a backwards P, right? Like, or like maybe it could be, you can add it. You know how like when you get when you had like a bad grade or something and you like churn it into something else, you could do that.
Yeah.
With like, you know, turn it into an A. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, okay, so I'm just coming from a very like middle-aged Christmas party, and this came through, right? I was aghast. I desperately wanted to talk about it with somebody. I went up to the friend that I, know, and I was there at the party, their house, and I was like, "Can you believe this?" And she was talking to two men, neither of whom cared. I was just like, they're like, "Oh, is this what's happening? Is this what's happening? Like with Pete?" I'm like, "What are you fucking? What are you talking? Do you only watch ESPN? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what?
They're watching Sunday Night Football.
Like,
and,
like, what are you talking about? They were just.
we are in different worlds.
This is what I mean. This
is exactly what we're talking about. We're walking around the same earth, but we're on different worlds.
It's a different world from where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Like, like I just to call up a Cosby show.
How dare you?
But I mean, like, truly, like, the indifference on their faces, along with the complete confusion and befuddlement over why I was even caring or like upset about it. And I'm like, why do you care about this team with their names?
Yeah.
And who cares? What do you mean? Like, what
Yeah.
side are you on in this culture? Like, are you pro Jay, you're pro. Like, what are you talking? Like, the way that they were so confused. This is what I mean. Like, when we talk about what is dividing this country, we are living in different realities. Like,
we really are.
And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, as like, you know, a creature of culture, right, and also a person that's living in this world, I know that there is football. I am aware of these teams that are playing. I know their coaches. Like, I know XYZ. Like, I know how this game is played and whether or not things are going well or poorly, right? Mm-hmm. They had no idea about this. They had no
culturally
idea.
Illiterate.
No idea. And they didn't think it was important.
This is all I even see when I open my phone. What are you... Okay, anyway, so
that's what I mean. That's how
fundamentally
different. And so now, we talk now, and yet again, we return to Miss Jaguar Wright. And yet, we find ourselves back to Miss Jaguar Wright. I mean, this has been rumbling since Diddy went in. When that first
Justin Bieber,
when that first tonnage of baby oil was found, it was already rumbling, you know, because he is so inherently a part of this.
Tied. Yes, they came up together, obviously. Now, I don't know if you have a certain tie to Jay-Z emotionally. But, you know, I do as a New Yorker, but not as a fan, but more as the acting legal husband of Miss Beyonce.
Yeah, of course.
Carter. Mm-hmm. Now, Beyonce must have an exit strategy.
I thought you were going to say must be protected. And I would say that I would agree.
Protected?
Must be protected, yes. I would say that...
you think she's part of it? That's what Jaguar Wright said.
Yes.
That she participated in the collection and abuse of these people.
I don't know. Did she just say that she just thinks that Beyonce is also crazy and that she is her...
I don't doubt that.
But also that she's more saying that Beyonce's like the complicity is in her complacency, that she knows of what's happening and has done nothing. That's always been my understanding of it.
I thought she was part and parcel of the entire thing.
Though what Jaguar has always said is that she knows what's happening. So her complacency.
She knows who her husband is.
Yes. Yeah. That her complacency is complicity. And then there's that crazy story about the witch cat thing.
What's that story?
It's that like Jay-Z had a child with someone else,
yes, and that's the other twin, and
yes, yeah. So and that Beyonce like had a hand.
Meanwhile, these are all conspiracy.
Oh yes, of course, these are all like,
and even Jay-Z being charged is from whatever. Anyway, he's already made a response,
a strange one,
a really weird one, and
like I mean,
it is 2025. I think is going to be the end of empires.
So, yeah, a very strange reply.
We need to end with one more topic because we did talk about a lot of stuff, but let's talk about the reply, and then I think that'll dovetail into my last topic.
We must characterize Jay-Z's reply as a reply all email from like a boomer.
Yeah.
The spacing of the email, the punctuation, the word choice, it's almost you know what it feels like? It feels very speech to text.
Mad Libs.
Yeah. Like, you know, like I disagree. This is a person that has like, you know what I mean? Like it's like almost like he had AI edit out all of the swear words he had added, and then AI was like,
Motherfuckers.
yeah, motherfucker, change all the motherfuckers to exclamation points and or the word heinous or untrustworthy. Like this person is untrustworthy lawyer. Like, you know, it's very, very strange. Again, these are all alleged. Yes.
What do you think is, what's your theory?
I don't think that Jay-Z is going down. And I think that is Beyonce's exit strategy.
What do you mean?
As in,
she's going to be like, I'm leaving?
No.
Oh.
I think that like ensuring that he does not go down, that is the exit strategy. Like she's not leaving.
Oh, they're Bonnie and Clyde part 2ing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
right.
The exit strategy. Like this, which there is no way that she didn't know this was coming down the pipeline. The way that she has been acting and comporting herself, it gives all the evidence of a person that knows it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And so I do not think that this is. But I will also say, Peter, that his.
So you think it's gonna go away?
Yes. I also think that the way that he has been living his life, the way he has been moving in these past few years, all show like that
she's known.
And that he is already, he's
been reined back. Yep.
And so he's not a part of the public persona that public, no. He's buying property. He's doing Bitcoin.
He's buying NFL teams.
Yes. You know what I mean?
He's playing billionaire chess.
Yes. He is not trying to be a public face of the couple anymore. He's not doing that. No. He's also fucking old. You know what I mean? He's pulled himself back.
Yeah, what is he, 60?
He called himself a young man in this response. Honey.
He originally said young Hova, and then the AI changed it to man. I agree. I don't think anything's going to happen.
No.
I also don't think Beyonce was involved, but I do think she is protecting her own.
Yes, absolutely. I do not think she was involved, no.
Do I fault her? I do.
Really?
I think, I do. Because I think that upholds patriarchy, and which is why we are where we are with Roe v. Wade and all that. So Beyonce, you're saying all the single ladies, but you're not one.
Poof, shots fired.
Thank you for the Ivy Park. It's so comfy. It's cute. But if I will say this, and this might be controversial to all of y'all. If Beyonce gets canceled, let's say, if it happens, I don't know if I'm that sad. Here's why.
Okay. And you're saying
as
this
an
wearing
artist,
an Ivy Park.
As wearing an Ivy Park. I'll say this right now.
I'm wearing Chicago Bulls 1996.
Yeah, and you know he's a bad man.
Love that steak.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm mad because I don't think I'm mad about anyone like that. I just don't like fan out like that.
Sure.
B,
same.
Especially Beyonce. I admire her, and I think she's an artist, and she has a lot of great, interesting ways she pushes the culture. But I was never, never let us in emotionally, so I was never attaching emotionally. I'm like more attached to Billie Eilish emotionally than I am Beyonce.
Sure, but yes, because she's of a different era pop star that like doesn't, for sure.
Yeah, she's more like, I'm here, I'm royalty, which is like fine. That's great, good for you. That's the brand, but like that kind of like builds a wall that's like strong enough where like if you get canceled, then I'm not that sad.
So you think this is leading to, in 2025, Peter Kim predicting death of empires?
Fall of empires, yeah.
I mean, you know that this has been, if anyone is interested in a great historical fiction read in 2025, if you've never read it, all of the Empire books by Gore Vidal are incredible. They're one all like it starts with Burr, goes to Lincoln, goes to the Gilded Era. Like these are incredible books, incredible reads, incredible salacious prose, by the way, because Gore Vidal was, if anything, cunty. So like truly. But his whole thesis is that America was empire, and that they just like the Romans, we have been due, and we've been due for quite some time, and that it's only America is sort of like convincing ourselves that we are these scrappy young democracy.
The underdog
has been this great lie that has led to its continuous, like, sort of us being able to kind of rebrand and be like, oh, this is why. This is like, even though we've been on the decline since basically World War II. Like 100%. Basically 50s, like it's just been a decline. And it's been foretold since there's like a guy named Otto Spengler called The Decline of the West, same thing. It's been coming. And you think this is the year?
I do think so. I do, because more than anything else, I feel like I'm going to have a good year. And usually when I'm having a up year, the world is a little down. So that's more like what I'm basing this on. Less any other facts or figures or...
So what do you... What?
That, and can I just transition that thought? We'll talk about that. Speaking of Fall of Empires, we got to talk about the United Health CEO. Now, this has lit the imagination of Americans like none other.
Let me just tell you this: like when it's been happening online in reaction to the CEO getting shot. This is when internet is good.
This is the digital storming of the Bastille.
I mean, like, truly, this is when internet is good. This is when I'm like, this is the community that it was always meant to be. This is the esprit de corps it was supposed to elicit. And this is what has always been needing to happen.
The snarky comments.
Like this, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's just no world where there's no monologue joke that will rival the reads that are occurring in the comments.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's been declined coverage. Like, you know, what was the thing?
Yes.
When shareholder, like I think the United stock went up after he got killed. And like, I think the top comment was, he died doing what he loved, which is
raising shareholder price.
Value, you know, like bringing value to shareholders.
Shareholders. That's so funny. There's another one I really loved was thoughts and prayers are not in network.
I mean, like, just like truly, like, you know, like the nameless comment, like, and it is like that to me. It is like opposite of stand up, right? Because this is a comment that is coming from the void. And it is like, it is for the culture.
Common consciousness.
It's just for the culture.
It is. We should call it Z for zeitgeist.
Like, I mean, that's what it's. That's like, this is what I mean when like the esprit de corps. Like, it is for the collective. Like that shit. It is so deeply satisfying. It is galvanizing.
It's bridging us.
Yes.
Yeah. It's healing the country.
It's healing. It is healing. I mean, like, also, by the way, like the way that some people have been like reacting, like, oh, like very like, oh, this is horrible. I'm like, you make too much money. This is how I clock you. When you are.
That's how Eric reacted.
He's not making enough money to be like that.
I know. I was like, what's wrong with you? It's not even about the money. He's like, it's just like
the violence.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That we're cheering this on.
Sure.
And even though he does, quote unquote, deserve it.
Sure.
It just like it's like a distasteful feeling. And I get that. I get his point of view, but I also get why, you know, it's like gladiator shit. It's like, we're all pissed.
And
what
also,
the fuck did you think? It's an effigy.
Thank you. No, people are not. This is when. I will say this: when those billionaires got sunk, and the internet was so happy about it. I will say I had the same sort of reservations
yacht?
about. Yeah,
The yachts?
no, the submarines.
Oh, the submarine.
I will say I felt this. I felt the same sort of like reservations about like kind of this felt ugly. One, because there was a child on board, and also to be fair, were very rich, but they were fools, right? They were fools literally on a ship, right?
It was self-effacing.
They're fools. So to me, to like step on the neck of a fool, that feels a little like distasteful. Yeah. Versus this person is evil. Like
Did you see his face? Evil face.
Central
Evil
casting.
face.
Thank you, PR casting, for doing that.
Thank you, hell.
Thank you.
Thank you, Satan.
Great job. Because this is what I mean. Like where, like when I talk about how the Sacklers all need to die, like they need to be strung up in us. More of them should be scared. They should feel shame. They should feel like, oh,
they should.
Because
what we're doing is there's consequence.
Because in Korea, when someone does something wrong, they come out and the first thing they have to do is bow and apologize because they're ashamed.
Write an entire apology letter that is publicly documented. See, and we're a violent country. That's what we were met with. Now, if the killer was not hot and white and had $1 million smile, would we be this happy? I think no. I think there's a little bit of
you think
white
if he was
supremacy.
you think if it was an
if he was black,
you think if it was an acne riddled black guy, you don't think we'd be as pro?
No.
I think proactive stock would go down. I think that I don't. I really think
it helps that it was a white guy killing a white guy.
For sure. Absolutely. I
because
don't deny that.
It erases race out of the thing.
Absolutely.
And it just goes to class.
Which is what it clarifies the issue.
Exactly.
It clarifies. Absolutely. That I do agree with that. Because
if it was like a woman, if it was anything else other than his own like demo, it would have muddied the water.
But have you seen the latest conspiracy thing about that it is a woman?
What?
One, if you just like take first of all, the amount of planning.
Okay, I understand that. The organization itself. Yes.
Right? One.
No man.
Yeah. Like that smile. You think a lone wolf male is flossing?
But the woman at the hostel said that he was flirting with her. So wouldn't she know, or you think she's in on it?
You don't think you think a woman can flirt with another woman?
I think they can, but a woman would know that it's a woman.
Maybe. I mean, how about this?
You're saying it's a trans man? You're saying it's a cis woman?
I'm saying that it could be. I
like the joke that it's a woman.
Yeah.
That like because it was so executed well, they still haven't found her.
But I will say this.
I like that
because a woman in her 30s is invisible. So like I will say. I will say that this is actually you tell me your theory and I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you my theory and you tell me your theory about this.
Who that is?
Yes. Everything I have learned about this person, like every new bit of information only offers up like more questions, and it's because of like the sort of zigging and zagging about like the execution of it, right? I will say that to me, all of it points to a fan. Like a
fan of what? Of United Healthcare?
No, of like spy movies, a fan of spy novels, a fan of like that genre of media, right? Like I'm talking Ted Kaczynski, like sort of like a guy that was very well versed in what it takes to do this type of thing and do it well, but was not practiced in it.
He seemed pretty practiced. He had a pretty big silencer.
You can get that.
He had his routes mapped out. He was paying all in cash, fake ID.
That's all stuff that if you are a fan, you know to do.
So you're saying a fan pulled off the heist of the century? Not heist, but
because it's not also not the heist. Because it's also not the crime. Like there is enough.
What do you mean?
Because there's enough breadcrumbs and enough evidence of like his movements and actions where like he's not like he is like a like, you know what I mean? Like, is he living in Venezuela
he's
right now?
He's not a real spy.
He's not a real spook. He's not a real, like, whatever, right? He's not a real member of any of this. So then what?
What is he? That's what we don't know.
That's to me. Like, to me, that's like reads like someone that like.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Someone who's like an ultra fan and who's like playing out their fantasy. I think it's a person that whose mother died.
Okay.
Via being denied.
Yeah, I see the same thing. Yeah.
And I think something flipped in him and was like, okay, this is worth dying for.
Yes.
And he mapped out this thing. And I think he probably was on Reddit a lot and home planned this situation. Now, how did he know exactly when this guy was going to cross the street from his hotel?
He was in New York for a month.
Who? The shooter? But how did he know?
Tracking.
That guy doesn't... Tracking?
He was in New York for a month. Like, he wasn't just hanging out. Like, he was stalking this person.
Practicing his... Oh, so the CEO lives in New York?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. But even if you're stalking, like, how would you get his schedule unless you got someone from the inside? That's what I...
Oh, you think this is an inside job? You think it's like the insider trading stuff?
100%.
You think it's an insider trading thing? Okay.
I think that someone from the inside, like close to the CEO, is, quote, a whistleblower. And is helping a network of these people. I think this is Occupy Wall Street 2.0.
Be warned, Aetna.
They tried it. Cigna. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Did you see? They've been taking down all their CEO information, executive information from their websites. Everyone's deleting it.
I mean... To me, it's crazy that they
You're
felt
out here
so
gloating. You're gloating
to be so brazen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's coming to roost,
like,
and
because
I do think it's a fall of empires this year, and this is how it started.
And this, let me tell you this: it's not a universal. Like it's the Portillo's family. If you know Portillo's and you're from Chicago, they own a huge chain of hot dog places throughout the Chicagoland area. Their family has a huge compound and a huge yacht in Miami. The yacht's name is Big Dog. Hilarious. Have all the money. Like, I don't fucking... That's fine. That's a yacht built on the backs of hogs, intestines, and mayonnaise cake. Like, go, whatever. These like healthcare CEOs, what they're doing, and like the vitriol that they're seeing online, that's
a direct response, friends.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a reckoning that's been a long time coming, and I'm just ready to have a really great financial year.
As we close out 2024.
Let's close out 20. And it's my birthday. That's my birthday wish. All right, folks. Thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful holiday. If we don't talk to you till January, maybe we might take a break. We'll see. But I'm around, so we'll see. All right, thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.